Hey, buddy. Hey.
Hi there at BM2KX. How are you doing tonight, Steven?
Hey, at prolocart.com. How are you, my friend?
Ooh, that takes me back the at prolocart.com days. That was in the early 2000s when wrestling was still on screen and you can hit people in the back of the head with steel chairs, and no one thought that was a thing that you could, they thought it was safe. It was like an Advil.
Yeah. Still safe.
Still safe. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm starting to figure out Diablo. You know how sometimes you play a game and you have like a eureka moment, and then you like base everything around that.
Yeah.
I'm having that now with Diablo, and I'm now realizing how it is so good.
It is.
I'm seeing it, and I'm liking it, and everything that they're doing is good for me.
You know, the thing with Diablo, with all the Diablos that I've played, is that playing the story is usually good, and there's a lot to explore, and you can get a lot of armors and all that kind of stuff. But the real hook of Diablo is you can do this by yourself, but it's good with friends. But you and up to like 3 other players go and do rifts, and it's basically just you and a bunch of friends fighting. It's like horde mode. You're just fighting hordes and hordes of enemies in like randomly generated dungeons, trying to find the exit or beat the boss. And it's just really satisfying to be like, man, this is really hard at level 1, and looking at like 18 levels of torment and going like, I can actually do this on the hardest difficulty, and it's really fucking fun. So it's really, really good.
Yeah, I feel its claws digging themselves ever deeper inside of me.
This is true. Ever deeper inside of you, the claws latch in and they go through and do all types of crazy things to your gutty works. That's kind of what happens, right?
They made my stomach into spaghetti. Mom's spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I want my name to be Spaghetti.
I want my name to be Spaghetti. Yeah, whatever. Spaghetti. I don't really care. It's all good. Hey, my friend. Speaking about good things, good things. I noticed you did yourself a little live stream there over on the YouTubes with the Summer Games Fest 2023. How's that doing for you?
It was good. I noticed halfway through it the audio didn't sync up with my webcam, so that gave me a little bit of trouble. So, it powered through for the Mortal Kombat reveal, which is fine. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth thing obviously was my number 2 favorite thing to see, and then I guess a close third would be the Sonic Sunshine, I guess, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, Sonic Celebration.
Didn't even see
game.
That. Didn't even know
everything
that was a
else.
thing.
Everything else was kind of mid, kind of forgettable. Fortnite Wilds, I guess, but they're always changing their shit. So I mean, like, overall, it was a good stream. I wanted to just try to experiment and see what I can do in the space. And like I was saying earlier, coming back to Twitch and getting everything set up the way that it was before, I missed Twitch. I missed Twitch the 2 days that I was streaming on YouTube, and now that I'm back on Twitch, yeah, it's going to be a hard sell to get me back on YouTube unless I could simulcast. But I know that's probably frowned upon in the Twitch community, but I'm such a small fry, I don't think they would notice.
Well, the only thing about that is you'd have to worry about losing your... That is a break in terms of your affiliate license, unfortunately. Now, the only time... So the caveat in that is that you can do it on TikTok, because technically TikTok is a mobile streaming application, whereas YouTube is not a mobile streaming application. That's the caveat in there. That's why sometimes when you see people reach 1,000 followers on TikTok, you'll find, like, if you're scrolling TikTok, you'll find someone live streaming a game, but they're also streaming simultaneously on Twitch, and they can do that. That's allowed on Twitch. You can stream on Twitch and TikTok until they change that, because they're money grubby bastards that just want to change things. I read further into that policy. It's why I asked you about it earlier, and unfortunately, it really sucks. Twitch is the place to be for doing what we want to do. It's more geared towards what we want to do. I like what we do in this. I like all the cool add-ons and stuff. But the fact that like sponsorships going to be dead, charity things going to be dead, all these like cool little ads that you do for yourself dead. It's really going to be shitty unless they change something. And the fact that they did not acknowledge it in their in their we're sorry oh shit, you know, they didn't acknowledge it. They just kind of, you know, were like, you just didn't read it correctly. No, I've read contracts before. I've signed many contracts. I know how to read a contract. Now, that's bullshit. That's total bullshit what they did. So it's going to be kind of shitty for a little while, but I don't know. We'll pull through. It's backed by Amazon, so they got the money.
They do. So that's what makes me even more crazy about it, because it's not like they don't have the money, motherfucker. Like, what are you trying to do?
I know.
I don't know.
Bezos just made $400 off me today for buying all this Ring camera bullshit. So yeah, I don't want to fucking hear it.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man. It's what happens when you live to. Unfortunately, when you own your home, but you have to unfortunately live next to people that do not own their home and do not give a fuck and do not give a fuck about the company they keep. You have to make some sacrifices, unfortunately. But well, we be out of here as soon as these home prices come down a little more. Let me get the fuck out. Did you hear the news about the Wingman adapter for fight sticks? I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, I sent you a screen cap of me buying it off of Amazon.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, there's a link on Amazon. It's like $60-$70.
Oh no, I didn't see your message.
Oh, word? Maybe
Yeah,
I sent it to your work phone. I don't know.
Maybe you did. Who knows? But no, I'm excited. Mine's going to be coming here because I got it in. I think that you're probably in the same boat as me. You're in wave 2 of the pre-orders, so it's going to come out mid to late July. So
yeah, it's not exactly going to be Amazon Prime, but it's definitely coming. And it was the same price as the 6-button controller that I had. That was not very good. I don't know. I heard you talking about modern controls, and I really like the modern controls. It's more about the utility of the character more so than the execution, I guess.
I can see that.
I know how purists can be like, oh man, I don't know, but this is going to make it more accessible to other people. And then on top of that, then once you know like the utilities of characters and what people can do, and if it's easier for it to come out, think of it as an opportunity for you to actually get more practice into, oh, okay, I know that Ryu obviously going to be throwing a lot of fireballs, and if I just figure out a way to kind of circumnavigate that, you know, you're going to be presented with more opportunities to kind of work on that. So I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. I'm in team modern controls, but that's only until the device comes, and then I can connect it to the fight stick, because Street Fighter 6, I feel Street Fighter games in particular, I feel need to be played on a joystick in order to experience it properly. That's the purest portion of what I think when Street Fighter games are concerned. But like games like Mortal Kombat, I feel better dialing in the combos. I feel more locked into how the frames are and everything like that, more so than I am with Street Fighter. It's weird. And I found myself watching and rewatching the Mortal Kombat gameplay trailer over and over and over again. And then I found myself onto Twitter channels that were actually showing off fatalities. And I don't know if you want to be spoiled on some things, but there is...
Oh, no, we can be spoils.
Okay, so they were showing off brutalities, fatalities, and apparently the cameo thing is so ingrained into the game. It's like the drive impact mechanic in this game. You're going to have to learn to do that, and it's going to have air combos, bro. Did you see that? I
did see that. And you know what, before we launch fully into the discussion on that, because I want to play some matches with you, I want to talk about Mortal Kombat 1, but I want to get back to one quick thing before we move on to that. You mentioned the fight stick, right? So I'm going to tell you, this has been my whole thing with fighting games in general. You know me, I know you, we love fighting games. I love playing fighting games. We might not be, what is it, Ninja Killer and Sonic Fox over here, but look, we do have a fun time playing fighting games. And when it comes to Street Fighter vs. Mortal Kombat, the basics of the controls is what really defines those two games. Mortal Kombat is a 4-button game with a 5th button specifically for block, except for Mortal Kombat Ultimate, which had a 6th button for run, but it's traditionally been 4 buttons for attacks and 1 button for block. That was unique about it. You could be in a neutral stance and press 1 button and you're blocking, and it's a lot easier for making things like Flawless Box, because just tap it and you're good. It really does lend itself better to using a controller, like you said. You can play with a joystick and it's fun, but it does especially the NetherRealm games, the pad is better, right?
Yeah.
Street Fighter, however, has such a beautiful design that is timeless. And it's one of the reasons why I've always said that Mortal Kombat is the big epic thing. It's the big Avengers Endgame whenever a new one comes out. It's so epic and awesome, and I love these characters, and they've taken so much time to really put a lot of effort into making these characters built up over the years. Characters like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, they've all gone through so many different changes over the years, and some good, some bad, but it's always been a consistent, I want to see what happens to these characters. Street Fighter, however, I don't give a fuck if E Honda's gonna run a restaurant. You know what I mean? But Street Fighter is better to be played because it's more fun to play on a fight stick because the buttons are so simple. Light, medium, heavy punch. Light, medium, heavy kick. Both lights throw. Both mediums focus attack. Both heavies taunt, or in this one it's probably going to do the parry. The other one's going to do the drive impact. Hold back to block. I've always loved the hold back to block in this because it really teaches you about pokes. It really teaches you about your crouching, your turtle game. DeMonte, what's going on? Hello there. How are you, sir? But if you're going to fight someone, you're going to walk towards them and punch. If you're going to be defensive, you're going to walk away. So naturally, when you're walking away, you're blocking. It sets up a whole new dynamic about defending yourself. So I'm glad that we're in a year where a Street Fighter game's coming out and a Mortal Kombat game is coming out, and we can really compare them. And so far, I'm going to tell you this. So far, it's looking like Street Fighter might be the one that's going to be a better, a more fun game to play than Mortal Kombat, just based on the gameplay.
That's a bold statement.
Just based on the gameplay. Thank you for cashing them channel points, DeMonte, for the bloody. Thank you so much. But what are your opinions on this? Because I mean, you can okay. So tell me about what your opinions are, what your feelings are on the MK1, gameplay trailer. Compare it to Street Fighter. I know I just went long-winded, but I just wanted to make sure I got that in about the joystick and the fight controls because I love talking about the mechanics and the meta. Go ahead.
All right. Well, that was definitely a lot. So let me first off go ahead and thank.
And another thing. No.
and thanks Spartan Storms for coming through. It is good to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a fantastic fan service Friday, my friend. Good to have you on board. We're chopping it up with Bro Lokar about the two different pillars of fighting games that we're experiencing. Mortal Kombat 1 versus Street Fighter 6, and both of them have their pros and cons. I find myself constantly ebbing and flowing in between the two games. I remember when Mortal Kombat 11 first came out, and then when Ultimate came out, and I didn't lock myself into it. It was only until very recently that I really got heavy into Mortal Kombat 11, and then I really locked in and realized if I read how the characters animated themselves and what works and what didn't, that was literally the first time I started thinking to myself, which attacks can I punish, which ones should I look out for, building sound strategies around them. And I'm trying to transplant that over into Street Fighter, but it has its own set of rules and things and architectures. So it's so hard to kind of say, gun to my head, which one do you want to do? Street Fighter 6 or Mortal Kombat, because both of them offer a different fighting experience. A lot of times these video games want you to specifically adhere to what they have established as the rules of whatever the rock, paper, scissors, or what I like to do in ChatGPT now. It's called a cycle of relationships. So essentially, if anybody's played a Mega Man game or played rock, paper, scissors, it's essentially if you're going to throw a high, like a throw, I'm going to duck, I'm going to go and block, or you're going to throw, or you're going to hit me with a drive impact. There's just so many things that you have to kind of read your opponent.
Thank you again, DeMonte. Go ahead.
It's wildly different how Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat both kind of handle that. And to an extent, I like how Street Fighter 6 kind of pulls back the constant bip, 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 juggle, 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 wall bounce, bip, 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 bip. It's turning more into like a grounded game, if that makes sense. Whereas Mortal Kombat 1, in the footage that I've been seeing, looks like you can pop them up and climb up there with them and finish the combo up there and knock them down and bring in a cameo fighter. There's just so much, there's different toolkits to what you can do in the fights. And I'm really interested in seeing how Mortal Kombat plays. from everything that I've been seeing online, everybody's been saying that the gameplay in Mortal Kombat 1 with the cameo system and everything associated with it is just knocking it out the park. So we are actually sitting in a fighting game renaissance where if you were to have a gun to my head and say which game definitively is better, I couldn't give you like an answer right off the cuff. I would seriously have to sit down and think about it. So although that's not a good answer to give you, I feel like as a person that plays these fighting games in the larger scene of it, the fighting game community, this is an embarrassment of riches because we're going to be able to enjoy both games for what they are. And I'm excited for it. I just can't wait for September to happen. You know, that is my birthday month. So all I'm saying is that's going to be a really good birthday present for myself. I already have it pre-ordered.
Me too.
And on site, as soon as that trailer hit, that and Final Fantasy 16, we're going to be eating good on stream this month and beyond. So I'm happy to be sharing all of this with you guys.
We are going to be eating good for a while now. I know that we're not big Tekken people, but like I played a lot of Tekken Tag, and Tekken 8's even coming out. So the fighting game community is definitely getting a resurgence, which is one of the reasons why I think there's a big push, which I wish they did it a little bit sooner, but that's okay. Better late than never, about getting the Wingman USB adapter for fight sticks. That's really awesome. But the thing that I'm looking at, and I just want to point this out, I heard a lot of people on like a couple forums when they were talking about Mortal Kombat 1, talking about the visuals, talking about how it looks and how it plays and comparing it to a mobile game. I think a lot of people need to chill out with that because anytime you see gameplay footage, even if it's in a trailer, that is not the final version of something. So I really wish people would cool out with that shit. It could, first off, just so you know, my opinion, if it ships the way that it looks right now, it still looks fucking amazing. So I don't give a shit about that. And it's going to look better when it comes out. So fuck that. But when I saw the gameplay footage, I was really slowing it down and paying attention to how things were going, how things were landing, how things were hitting, how things were kind of stringing together. The reason why I actually put a TikTok out of just the gameplay, of just straight up all the gameplay, that how it all systems go together, is because I was just watching it over and over and over again just to see how it works. The way what it looks like at face value, it looks like it plays a lot like MVC3. It looks like it has the same type of get in there, hit, long. It looks like a perfect mix of Mortal Kombat X with Marvel vs. Capcom assists, which the reason why I'm right now gonna sit with my opinion saying maybe Street Fighter 6 might be a little more fun to play than Mortal Kombat 1 is solely based on the fact that we have a Capcom game, a brand new Capcom game that's coming out from the ashes of its last title that at launch was pretty terrible. This one's trying to bring back the fan base of Street Fighter 6, and it's a Capcom game. Then you have Mortal Kombat 1, which is looking like it's trying to imitate a Capcom game. It's kind of making me at face value go, I think Mortal Kombat might not be the one this time around. I don't know, because you know my heart's always in Mortal Kombat. It's my favorite. But a bad game's a bad game. Not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying I'm always going to play the game that I have more fun playing. I don't really care what's more popular or whatever. I'm going to play what I feel is fun. So that's how it is.
And to be perfectly honest, I still have incredible amounts of fun with both games, and I have different types of fun with those two games.
Sure.
I actually find myself getting more angry at losing fights in Street Fighter than I do Mortal Kombat, which is weird, but I think that's also because I know that I know better in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
In Street Fighter, I still feel like I have to learn, because ever since the DLC characters started dropping in Street Fighter 5, once they've tried to like salvage that game, they really started using characters with unique gimmicks, and they almost felt the need to kind of like go very hard in that direction because they didn't want to release boring characters. So Akira, for example, she's from rival schools, and she ended up having full-blown air combos as nobody else in the game does, but that was strictly a rival schools mechanic and gimmick, and only she could do it. So they've kind of transplanted that idea to trying to make each one of these Street Fighter characters unique and utilize them in different ways. So even if you have, let's just say, a modern controller scheme, you still have utility sets you have to use and still have to work around. So, I mean, just going back to that, the modern versus the classic stuff, I guess it's all in how you play the game. And if you want to play the game to kind of use the tools and figure out how the tools work against each other, that's one way of fast tracking that mindset and that track. But
oh, for sure.
But like with Mortal Kombat, I feel like I'm gonna have to relearn a lot of new things. And I mean, are these crushing blows are we looking at, or are these X-rays? Because a lot of Mortal Kombat 11 had a lot to do with making sure that you had like the big crushing blows in the middle of whatever. So you would build your match around doing those things, or the brutality is the same. There's just a lot of things that we don't know. And as we're slowly getting this drip feed of stuff, I'm starting to see more about the game, and it's getting me more excited to play it. Like none of the stuff that I've seen so far, and they're taking big risks too. It's not a standard Mortal Kombat game anymore with this cameo stuff.
This is true.
It's interesting, and it's interesting in a good way.
Sorry, my other computer got unplugged. I'm just making sure it's working. You know, that's
unforgivable.
Unforgivable. You know that, and that's the thing, right? Here's the thing. When it comes to what they showed us in the trailer and what they have in store for these cameo fighters, I noticed that a lot of them came in with their regular Mortal Kombat, their debut outfit, right? They're classic, right? The classic outfits, but they really feel... I feel the juxtaposition so okay, I really like the way that Kenshi looks in that fight with Johnny Cage, because I've never been a fan of the big bulky armor Kenshi. I really like the idea of like Japanese business suit wearing Kenshi that's not blind. I really think that it's cool to go back into his backstory before he gets blind. I think that's really cool. And just based on what I saw in the trailer with Johnny Cage having Sento and Kenshi coming to retrieve it, I really feel that that's kind of a cool dynamic, having those two have a meet up and fight. I'm really excited that Kenshi's back in this. I know you are really excited that Kenshi's back. Yeah,
that's my boy. He's one of my main.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have some problems. Well, they already confirmed Reptile, so he's back. So I got my main back. That's cool. I don't know if Scarlett's going to come back, but that's okay. She was the one for Mortal Kombat 11. But, you know, here's the thing. With Mortal Kombat 11, I said this for a while. I like Mortal Kombat 11. I like how it plays. However, Mortal Kombat 11... is plagued with a lot of issues, some of it not NetherRealm's fault, some of it entirely NetherRealm's fault. I like the crushing blows, I hate the fatal blows. I think the fatal blows are something that really needs to go away with this iteration. I think that the fatal blows are more of a thing that Injustice should have, because I don't like the idea of I'm fighting you, and in the middle of the fight, we have to stop and watch. So I've timed some of these. Some of these are legit. I think like the longest one is Garrus. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've did this, but like the longest one's like 25 seconds long. Damn. Which is ridiculous in the middle of a fighting game. Fight. Okay, good. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's watch this movie. Mortal Kombat 9. Exactly. Mortal Kombat 9 did it perfectly. We're in a fight. X-ray. Shing. Boom. Stab. Done. Back to the action. All it needs to be. I don't like ridiculously long super moves. I like super moves. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea of like, oh, I'm gonna boom, and that's all it needs to be. It does not need to be this big thing where we summon the fucking Dragon Zord and blast you into fucking Jupiter. It doesn't need to be that. It really doesn't. And that's why I say it's more of an Injustice thing, because I can get behind a game where Superman does some shit and throws Green Lantern into fucking, wherever. You know what I mean?
The sun.
Exactly. That makes more sense in Injustice. It doesn't make a lot of sense in Mortal Kombat, and I have this... It's been happening since Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X is where I started noticing that Mortal Kombat started shifting more towards being like an Injustice clone and not having its own identity as a fighting game. And that's what I don't like. And I was really hoping that Mortal Kombat 1 would be like playing a Mortal Kombat game again. But there's cameo fighters that are going to be heavily ingrained into it. I hope that there is somewhat of a just 1v1, but they didn't have that in Marvel vs. Capcom, so who knows? And then also with these cameo fighters, you got to think about this. Are there going to be designated cameo fighters or a cameo fighter that's more preferable to use? Like, if I'm Scorpion, Takeda, I trained him. Or Sub-Zero, he's my boy, you know? Or if I'm playing as Johnny Cage, do I get a bonus or something that feels more right if I have Sonya with me or Cassie Cage with me? That like succinctness of like that syncing up of, you know, if I'm playing as Raiden and, you know, my cameo fighter is like Movado, you know what I mean? It's just like, I hope that there is some sort of a benefit to that. They haven't really clarified much on how the whole cameo system is going to work outside of it'll be assists, which, I don't know, do you remember Street Fighter versus Tekken? That had assists. That wasn't as, you know what I'm saying? Like, I liked Street Fighter versus Tekken. There's still a community behind it, but it was kind of broken, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's going to be very difficult for them to make these characters, these cameo characters work, you know, in the realm, because it's difficult enough to balance fighting games with all the characters and all their things. All it takes is one broken move.
Absolutely.
Shiva
Stomp. Shiva Stomp. Shiva Stomp. Shiva Stomp. Shiva Stomp. For a whole year.
Essentially.
And that's the thing. Getting back to what I was saying about NetherRealm's fault. Some things were not their fault. The pandemic happened, so they probably couldn't be in the office to fix things, but there was no reason for the Shiva Stomp to exist for over a year. For over a year, you could log into Combat League, and if someone pissed you off, you could just get on Shiva and do Shiva Stomp. And unless you knew exactly how to get through her, you're fucked. And God forbid if someone actually knows how to play as Shiva without the Shiva Stomp and you fight them, they're fucked. They're fucked. Shiva's Reign of Terror was absolutely terrible, and it lasted for over a year, and that was pathetic. So I really hope that doesn't happen again.
Well, let's hope that they've learned from their mistakes, but, you know, anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
Exactly. So who are you hoping... So you got Kenshi, you got your wish. Who are you hoping... Let's see. Who are your top 3 that you would like to see return in Mortal Kombat 1 from any of the games?
Well, I mean, obviously Noob, but that doesn't seem like it's going to happen because according to the internet, according to Twitter, Bihan is the Sub-Zero of Mortal Kombat 1, but they're also saying that Scorpion and Sub-Zero are actually brothers.
Yeah, I think that Liu Kang literally rewrote history and the timeline.
Yeah, so are they Chinese or Japanese is what I'm asking. And ladies and gentlemen, Ying Things is in the house.
What's going on, Ying Things?
We're just chopping it up about Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and all the fighting games that are coming out and more. So it's been a good month, year. It's been a good season for fighting games. We have a lot to talk about. We got a lot to chop it up about. And right now, Mortal Kombat is the top of mind because we have all this new footage that we've been poring over. And we each have our own ideas as to what it could be, what it can't be. But going back to your question, like if it was Noob, I don't know how they would do that. But to be more realistic, I already got Kenshi. Shang Tsung's going to be the pre-order bonus.
Yeah, so you already got 2 of your dudes.
Yeah. And I mean... I'm surprised that they had Stryker as one of the cameos of all. If it was maybe one of the Cyber Ninjas, I would definitely be maybe Triborg, Cyrax, Sector. Yeah, any of the robots.
Hope they keep Stryker as a cameo, honestly.
No, I'm sure that they're going to just have low tier characters like Goro being fucking cameos. And I didn't even
see
notice
Goro
it
being
was him.
5 feet tall when he got called in as Sisters Molina?
This must have been like in a different universe where he didn't hit this growth spurt.
I guess.
What the fuck
maybe.
was that?
No idea, man. He was kind of small. And Kitana Molina, that's confirmed. That's pretty cool too. I don't know if there's going to be a Jade or a Tanya. I'd like to see Tanya return. That'd be cool. I've always liked Tanya. I thought she was cool. I don't know. So I guess yeah. So you got Kenshi, you got Shang Tsung. Anybody else? I mean, I guess Cyber Ninjas, Cyber Sub-Zero. That probably is not going to happen.
Nah, any of the cybers, but like that might be weird. Oh, Ying Thing just thought of something. My man just gave it to me.
What is it?
Ermac.
Ah, Ermac. He's got to be coming back. So many people were mad that Ermac had one of his best outfits ever in Mortal Kombat 11, and it was wasted as a quick cameo where he just falls into the pit and dies.
Yeah.
And if you look at that outfit, I'm like, dude, that is one of the coolest looking outfits for Ermac ever. I was like, why is that not? And that's why everyone thought he was going to be playable eventually in 11, which maybe they had more plans to bring in. Ed Boon was teasing Reptile a lot. Maybe they were going to do a classic Ninjas pack. I'm still baffled as to why Sector and Cyrax were not in Mortal Kombat 11 when they're in the fucking story and you fight them.
Right?
But then again, Rain and Sindel and Tanya were in X, and you fight them, and they weren't in X. Or no, wait, Tanya was, but Rain and Sindel weren't. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and that's the thing. This will be so for me. I'm really hoping we see Smoke because I need to have Smoke back in my life. He missed out on 11 and he missed out on 10. That's egregious. All right. Smoke has always been one of the most popular fan favorite characters of the franchise, and he missed the last 2 big games. So I mean, you know, what can you do? Smoke,
put him in as a cameo player.
I really hope not. Maybe, you know what? Fine. Have Smoke in there and have Robot Smoke as a cameo. Boom. There you go.
Oh,
that's what I would
and
say.
And if you team them up, then they have an affinity, which means they get a special.
That's what I'm saying.
Know, like a special, like crushing blow or a fatal blow or something like that. Well, Ying Thing says, "Bring that smoke," and Spartan Storm says, "I was about to say smoke." I see we're also a bunch of cultured individuals right now.
That is a bunch of culture right there, and I hope that my voice is coming through just fine on your live stream. I think yours is coming in very good on mine. But listen, I think Smoke. I already got Reptile confirmed. Reptile is confirmed. I would love to see Smoke. I'd like to see one of the Cyber Ninjas coming back. I mean, they're another one that missed 2 Mortal Kombats. Triborg doesn't count. I don't care what anyone says. Triborg does not count. We need Cyrax and Sector both have really good stories. They had human forms in Mortal Kombat 9. If they had come in human form, great. Did you see Raiden? He has powers, but he's fighting Kenshi in some weird. I don't know what the hell Liu Kang's doing to the timeline. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he's fucking it up so bad, and then Shang Tsung or somebody comes back to try to fuck up his peaceful timeline and say, "Nah, man, Jax had metal arms."
I was actually very surprised to see the Mortal Kombat 2 references in full display. Like you had Mortal Kombat 1 Sonya, but obviously Mortal Kombat 2 Jax.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
Cabal. Oh yeah, I can see that. I can rock with some Cabal.
Cabal's always good.
I rocked with him a lot in Mortal Kombat Ultimate. Mortal Kombat 3.
Me too. Mortal Kombat 3, Cabal and Cyrax in Vanilla 3 were my 2 mains until and Smoke until Ultimate, where I just switched over to other people like Nightwolf and yeah, a lot of characters. Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate is one of my favorites. I've played so many of those people. Which will we actually be playing this Monday on Mortal Mondays? Shameless self-promotion.
My favorite stream on all of Twitch at the moment, Prolocar, will be celebrating Mortal Kombat, the entire franchise, across all these Mondays leading up to the release of Mortal Kombat 1. I'm staying tuned, and you should stay tuned as well.
Oh, thank you for that plug there, Steven. And here's the thing. I really do want to see how things are going to pan out, because I don't know when Tekken is coming out. I don't know when Tekken 8's coming out, but we just had Street Fighter come out. That's in June. And then Mortal Kombat's going to come in September. So is that 4-ish months going to be enough to really push one or the other? I mean, is Mortal Kombat going to have to be playing catch-up? Because we're going to be having Street Fighter 6 tournaments in the summer. There's going to be, like, by the time the first DLC comes out, there's going to be sanctioned tournaments. Whether it's, it's going to be online, obviously, but, it's going to be, money behind them and things like that. So Street Fighter's already in the lead because it's already out and available, and just based on the funness of playing it right now, I'm really digging it. I like it. I also like the World Tour mode, even though it's super cringy anime and kind of PS3-ish graphics. It's still fun. It's still fun to play. It's cool
It's
to
a
have a creative
good-
character.
Yeah, it actually, and I'll here's a tangent for a second.
Yeah, sure.
The Mortal Kombat like concept game that I was thinking of, where it was like a mix of Shaolin monks and Streets of Rage, but also with Mortal Kombat, where you could start in a realm and then be in a faction in a realm, and then have a quest in that realm that eventually takes you to the different realms, and then you can it's like an MMO slash beat 'em up. Like, I have this
Sure.
idea kicking around in my head for a video game.
Shaolin
but
Monk's
anyway,
Conquest mode, pretty much.
yeah, exactly. But in a side-scrolling fighting game type of thing. And Street Fighter 6 in their World Tour mode is kind of like the closest thing that I can describe it to being. And Ying Things is asking if we've ever played Mortal Kombat New Era.
Yes, I have played Mortal Kombat New Era. That's actually one of the ones that's spoiler alert for one of the things that I'm doing on Mortal Mondays. But yes, Mortal Kombat New Era is awesome. It's a fan-made. I don't know if it's made in Mugen or not, but it's basically Mortal Kombat Trilogy on steroids. Essentially, it's like HD, new textures. It's got like the breaker system, all types of stuff. It's really cool and really fun. If you've never fucked with Mortal Kombat New Era, I mean, pull it up on your phone, man. It's fucking phenomenal. It's awesome.
You know, now that we're sitting here talking about it, I'm sure that I've seen a video or two of, and that's what I thought too. If it was like a Mugen type skin or something like that, but it has, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't think I know 100%, but it's like you can literally like put in your own characters, or like the roster is just so extensive. The versus screen is incredibly small, like of all the different squares. There's games just like what Diaz is talking about, MK in the Streets of Rage situation. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'm getting all of my Mortal Kombat fan games mixed up. I don't know.
You know what I can do is
Open bore. Oh yes, open beats burning. What was Streets of Rage and
Beats of
in
Rage.
Japan? Beats of Rage? No. It's
Oh no,
Burning
no,
Knuckle.
Bare Knuckle.
Bare Knuckle. Yes, Beats of Rage. Yep. Yeah, and that reminds me, Streets of Rage 4 had some new DLC upgrade, by the way.
Yeah, actually, Ninja Turtles is getting an upgrade too.
That's right, that game too. I remember for like 2 weekends, you, me, Brandon, Sparkman were like just playing that game, and it just felt like how Ninja Turtle time was, if that makes sense.
Dude, I would play that game right now with all y'all in a heartbeat. Yeah, this is New Era, by the way. I have it on my screen right now. It might be in a little bit of delay.
Yeah, there it is. I see it.
But yeah, they basically I mean, like, look at that roster. It's crazy. And yeah, it is like a Mugen kind of thing. But the real hook of it is, and they also have like, they have crazy new, like, it's weird. New Era, and also just Mugen in the fighting game community as well. Like, it's everybody that's done stuff with Mortal Kombat and modded it over the years and tried to just make subtle improvements to the source code and all that kind of shit. Well, the source code's lost for 2, but besides the point. The people that have modded things and done new things in projects like this, they even created new characters that have kind of wormed their way in to the community. And there's guys like Chrome is one of them, the Chrome Ninja. And there's a whole backstory and wormhole to go down with the about the creator of Chrome. There's also a rumor that I don't think that Floyd was made in this one, but there was supposed to be a rumored pink male ninja named Floyd. Pink Floyd. And I think that Ed Boon is joking. I'm not sure. But then also they have Hydro in here, and Hydro is actually a real character from the comics. He was a water ninja from Sub-Zero's place. So, but like, I mean, they have some, like, they have Cyber Meat, they have Classic Tanya, Regular Tanya, Sector Human. I mean, like, some of these characters in here are crazy. This is all like fan-made stuff, which I've always loved. But the real hook of Mortal Kombat New Era is the gameplay. It's really, really fun. And like, they're only on the second column of characters right now, going through all of these bitches. I can just leave this on in the background until it gets to the damn story.
Good God.
But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them in this. And yeah, man, what I'm trying to say is you're right. It is an embarrassment of riches in the fighting game community. We've got a lot of good stuff coming out for the new era. The chip shortage is pretty much done, and so we now have PS5s on shelves. I walked into a Target, I walked into a Best Buy, I walked into a GameStop. They all had PS5s, so it's not like you gotta, get a scalper or find a friend or wait on Twitter like I did, and I'm sure you did, to get your PS5. So the hardware's out there. There's no reason to keep making these games for both PS4 and PS5 and holding developers back and holding game development back. And we're seeing a big thing of it now in 2023, where in 2023, here we are, and it's game after game. We've got Diablo, we've got Street Fighter, we've got Mortal Kombat, we've got Tekken, we've got Tears of the Kingdom, we've got Spider-Man 2. We've got so much shit coming out in 2023 alone that it's going to be hard to play all of these. I didn't think I was going to be playing Street Fighter 6, but hey, my wife's boyfriend said that I could buy a copy of it, so why not?
Hey, good for you. I'm glad that you are allowed to do things with your own. I saw that on your title for one of your Twitch streams, and I had to always coming up with the best Twitch headlines there.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Although it does amount to nothing because Twitch is a garbage platform that I don't know how much time we have on it left. Who knows? The exodus is coming, I'm afraid. But
time is fleeting. We have Ying, who says Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and Van Damme. Yeah, so Spartan Stormax asks, who do you think will be the celeb for Mortal Kombat 1? And I think they already announced that Van Damme is like the voice of Johnny Cage. And then also, spoiler alert, by the way, they're going to have as, I guess, playable or cameo characters, Homelander, Omni-Man, and another superhero.
Nah, you buried the lead there now. You're supposed to say it's Homelander, it's Peacemaker, and fucking Omni-Man. Which, I am really excited to play Omni-Man. Did you see Invincible?
So, interesting story.
Oh, Jesus.
I
know this story. Yeah, go ahead, tell it.
I watched the fight scenes, like all the like brutally violent parts of that on TikTok.
It's really
like
fucked
there was
up.
there was this channel where it was literally just Omni-Man destroys an entire alien planet or whatever. And so in the course of watching all these awesome fight scenes, Tara suggested to us, because we usually have like 2 nights of the week where we like everything, we don't do anything but watch like a show, or like get invested into like a show or a movie or something like that. Very recently, we just got done watching Beef on Netflix, which was really good. It was an A29 joint.
Okay.
With the guy from The Walking Dead. But anyway, tangent. So what was I talking about? Oh, she was like, how about we watch Invincible? She was seeing the same things on her TikTok, and she was like, it looks really violent and awesome.
Really good.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to add that to the pile of all of the shows that we say that we're going to watch, but never eventually do. Like Better Call Saul is on there.
Oh, so you've never seen Invincible?
I saw all the fight scenes, yes.
Oh my god. Oh, Invincible has such a good build towards the end. It's got such a good build towards the end. It's really well done. J. Jonah Jameson, I can't remember his fucking name, the actor's name, and I know that Mila's gonna be mad because I know this guy's name. Jesus fucking Christ. But J. Jonah Jameson's voices Omni-Man, and it's a stellar performance, and I really hope that they bring him in to voice Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat 1, because that is one of the biggest ones. He fits so perfectly into Mortal Kombat, just how fucking brutal he is. And it's so close. It's so close to having Omni-Man entering into the DC universe, because him being in Mortal Kombat is like one rum away from being in Injustice. I mean, that would be fucking amazing, right? You could have Omni-Man versus Homelander versus Superman potential in the future, NetherRealm. Come on, make it happen.
They can do it. They own WB. I mean, well, WB owns them, but interestingly enough, the internet was a buzz saying that Ed Boon was actually developing Injustice 3, and Warner Brothers said, no, you're making a Mortal Kombat game now. So they said, all right, we're going to take all the things that we were going to do in Injustice 3 and put them into Mortal Kombat. So that's why you're seeing a lot of like if you look at the supers, like Kenshi popped off, like it looks very reminiscent of an Injustice game, which I guess is a good thing, but could also be seen as like, you know. Spartan Storm says, Omni-Man going to wreck Homelander. I mean, have you seen The Boys? We had that new season coming up.
Oh man, no. I haven't even seen The Boys, and I know that Omni-Man beats Homelander any day of the week.
You would love The Boys. Like
I have to watch it. Well, you would like Invincible, and you would like Better Call Saul. No, I don't think you would like Better Call Saul. You don't like good things.
No. I do like those kind of shows. I think you would like Beef. It is one of those. Okay, so spoiler for a show that came out almost a decade ago. You know that part in Breaking Bad where, what the fuck is this? Where the car shows up in the desert and we're like, oh no, something terrible's gonna happen. Beef is exactly like that. It reminds me of that, like that part of that show, without getting into too much detail. It's a really good show. I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. Beef. And we just watched it on a whim, and we got so invested in it. It's only 10 episodes. But yeah, you won't see them in Mortal Kombat. Oh, fuck off.
Hold on. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here.
Is that you playing or is that a demo?
That is garbage right now, Steven. That is not garbage. You know what? It's funny actually. I just realized that Mortal Kombat New Era is actually not the one that I was thinking of. Mortal Kombat New Era is good, but I think I was talking about Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I'm gonna try and pull it up here. Yeah. But it's Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, I think. No, that's the cartoon show. Hold on.
Yo, hold on a second. Can we talk about how the Mortal Kombat computer animated special that they had way back in the day, that was my shit. I watched that literally a million times. Like, I'm not fucking kidding. Like, I thought that was the pinnacle of animation, and I was like so mesmerized by it. People can make better videos on Blender on their fucking MacBook Pros nowadays. Like, I could probably make a better one in After Effects and Photoshop. But at the time, there was none better. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, here's the one I'm talking about. This is the one. All those things I said about Mortal Kombat being awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, New Era is awesome, but Defenders of Earth, this shit is really, really good.
Oh, look at that. It's got that Mortal Kombat 9 aesthetic.
Yeah. It's also more simplified roster. It's got a little more detail to it. It's got a little more of an authentic look. But yeah, I mean, you can check some of this shit out if you just search Mortal Kombat Defenders of Earth. Not Defenders of the Realm, because that's the cartoon show that I loved as a kid. Yeah, but look at this shit. This is the shit that I was talking about, where this is like, if they actually made this a real thing, because people have been wanting an HD remaster of the original titles for many, many years, but this is the closest it comes if you ever want it. This is the one I was actually going to be playing on one of the Mortal Mondays in the future. You can see that they have the breaker bar down there. It's very much taking MKX's UI, but MKX had a very good UI. MKX is actually still really, really fun because I love having the run button. You know me, I'm a rushdown character. I like the characters that can get right in your face and just be relentless. And as soon as you figure out that combo, I'm switching it up and doing something different. I love a good rushdown character. It's one of the reasons why I played Reptile. It's one of the reasons why I like, Liu Kang. It's one of the reasons why in Street Fighter, Balrog's not rushdown, but we'll get to that later because that's a different thing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the MKX was like really good, and this shit right here is so fucking nice. So fucking nice. Really, really good job.
That looks really good, actually. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of production values.
Yeah, look at that.
Somebody put that tender loving care to make sure that everything's aesthetically, the same and really clean looking. That looks nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I would love to see this. I would love to see this as like an official release. NetherRealm gets its hands on it and says, all right, look, we're going to just fix all the things wrong with it that are, game breaky or whatever it is. Because, mods can have that. Anything coded in Mugen can be, like that. Get rid of anything that might be problematic for like licensing and, liable to lawsuit, and here we go. And we would have this. And I mean, I would love this because me, I love the classic shit. and this shit's as classic as it comes, but it's got that nice modern polish to it. I love fighting games, but I also love a 16:9 ratio with a nice smooth frame rate. And unfortunately, the older games, they're as classic as they are, you got to play them in 4:3, which you can stretch it, but no. I like to actually have it in the 4:3. So, there we go. And yeah, check it out. Mortal Kombat Defenders of Earth. You can download it for free and play it. And I think the last time I checked, it does have online support, so me and you can actually play this and fight each other in it.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're looking to get Breath of the Wild working, I'd say if you get that in the free time, see about getting this running.
It's crazy too because I really tried. I had to delete some stuff off of the computer because it took up so much space.
Right.
And then once the keys and licenses thing shows up, I was like, I'll do this later.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
Everything's fine.
So, anything else you want to cover? You excited about Final Fantasy coming out? Even though we're not on that subject, I'd still like to hear your opinions on the new Final Fantasy VII reveal trailer.
So me and Pat were having a couple of conversations about this, and this is obviously just theory crafting, and you and me have a very storied past when it comes to Cloud and Zack's past, because you were giving me piecemeal hints as to what the story was going into. You were giving me little morsels. You weren't telling me outright what was going on. And part of that game that was so much fun for me, at least when it came to the story, was the fact that it was almost like a mystery as to what was going on.
Oh yeah.
The overarching story of Cloud's past and how it pertains to what's going on currently and everything that you've been seeing so far, it was probably one of the best parts of the game. And so now I feel like they're trying to do that all over again with people who may know where the story's going, but in a different way. And of course, everything's a multiverse. Everything is time travel. And the big thing that I'm seeing on the internet right now is that Rebirth is going to have you playing the original game as it was, the original story as it was, but then also playing the game as if Zack survived and everybody else died. And somehow they're both going to, like an episode of Lost, convene in one spot, and then it's going to become whatever the third game is going to be, which I think, and this is going to be a bold prediction, it's going to be as soon as Sephiroth goes to the North Crater. I feel like they're going to have like a Kefka moment, and I won't get too far into what that means, but I think essentially what's going to happen, I think Maximilian made mention of this. He's going to do something and then retreat to the North Crater, and the third game will be some sort of open world thing with a brand new realized world that you're going to have to traverse, and I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, I am excited to see what they're going to do with the game, how it's going to be different than the original, but then also how they're going to be paying homage to the original, because obviously what made Remake so cool was the fact that it did pay homage to a lot of the things that Final Fantasy VII people, love about the game. So
right.
I'm very excited, but also kind of like apprehensive, because you know how Nomura can be with his fucking Kingdom Hearts shit. Sometimes Nomura can't get out of his own way. He tries to be Kojima and shit with his references.
As a person who recently played Kingdom Hearts and still hasn't beaten it, I gotta say I got swayed, and I understand why people like Kingdom Hearts and why people. I understand. I can put my head in the mentality of someone 20 years ago playing that game when it first came out and see how awesome it was and how fun it was for the time. And it's still fun today. Don't get me wrong. It is still fun today. But the mooring of Final Fantasy VII Remake, as I said, I think Final Fantasy VII Remake was really well done. There were moments where I genuinely felt emotional, because something that from my childhood and early high school days have been brought to the modern era, and it looks amazing. but you could tell its age of the PS4 console and the padding, and then when you get to the end, which spoilers, where you're basically fighting manifestations of ethereal things and whatever, I feel that it's a cool reveal. Again, spoilers, but I feel like it's a cool reveal that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a clever title because it's not a remake of the game, it's an actual sequel to Final Fantasy VII. Cool. But it does still feel like there's a lot of filler in Midgar, and I'm going to tell you this. I already know the story of Final Fantasy VII. I can play the original Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite Final Fantasy, as you well know. But the only thing I'm looking forward to in Final Fantasy VII, the new Final Fantasy VII, I guess it's Rebirth is what it's called. Yeah. The only thing, I think I'm frozen on your screen there, but the only thing that I'm looking forward to is, if you can't have an open world, there needs to be very, very big zones for me to just run around and grind, because I loved the battle system of Final Fantasy VII, and the biggest thing that I hated about Final Fantasy VII Remake was that I just couldn't run around in a big area and fight till my heart's content. My favorite thing about any JRPG is the grind, the running around, the exploration, obviously the story, but the biggest thing that I love is the running around and grinding. That is so fun to me. And if you can't do Final Fantasy VII in an open world setting, it really feels like lacking, because I've explored huge worlds on horseback, on an airship, on all these kind of things that aren't Final Fantasy. So why don't we have it in Final Fantasy VII?
Because they don't want to have the characters being the same size as the buildings on the world map, like in 8.
They don't have to do it that way. They don't have to do it that way. Look, they can just do an elevator trick, right? As you're running up to this ocean, it zooms in on Cloud's shoulders, and you wedge yourself through the brush, and then there you go, you're in the new world. That's how they can do it.
I mean, you're not wrong, and I think that's what they're probably going to have to do.
I am not wrong.
There was a conversation on YouTube about how it was weird how they were going to release Final Fantasy 16, but then at the same time also put over Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, they're saying Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is going to have wide, expansive areas, but what is 16 then? Is it going to be like 14 where it's just large zones and you have to kind of like traverse between them? Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they're going to have a big open world that you're going to be able to explore. Right. Which is good, because that's what the appeal of Final Fantasy VII was way back in the day. You did Midgar, which was essentially like a tutorial area, which was huge. Mm-hmm. And then essentially said, all right, have fun in the real game now.
Yes.
And that's what made it, like, again, one of the greatest games of all time. Of course. So I'm thinking what they're doing now is just saying, all right, guys, here's the real game, but now we're also going to have this whole, it's so big, we're going to have like Zack's timeline as a part of it. So like you'll get the new stuff. You'll get the new stuff as reimagined in Zack's world, but you're also going to get the original game as you remember it from, oh my God, 1997. And Jinja Ninja 2325 with the hype emotes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. We're just chopping it up with Pro Locar here before we get into Street Fighter 6. We are so excited for all the games that we have coming up, not only in the month of June, but across the entire calendar year of 2023. Between Final Fantasy 16, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, and oh my goodness, just Mortal Kombat 1. We have a lot to look forward to, and I hope that all of you are just as excited as we are.
I'm not excited. I am not excited about anything at all. I think that I'm dead inside, and it's nice to see all of my franchises I loved as a child growing up get extremely butchered in the modern era.
True, but you know what's funny too, because there's going to be people out there, their nostalgia, their like video game awakenings and stuff will be these games.
Oh, I know. Oh no, there's always room for the new era, you know.
There's going to have to be, because this like stuff isn't for us anymore. Well, it is for us, but
no, it is for me. It's for me. It's for me. It's for me. Don't tell me it isn't for me. It's for me.
Tifa's still for me.
She waited, and look, she looks great after 25 years. I'm just saying.
Well, they are saying that Tifa may actually be DED dead in this game.
They're saying a lot of things. Who knows? Who
Red
knows?
13 being carted away in a gurney. What?
Look, all I'm saying here is this, right? In terms of enjoyment of a game, a story is always on the back burner, in my opinion, when it comes to games, because I like to play games to have fun, unless it's something like, A Last of Us or something like that, where the story just propels the narrative. It propels the game. I want to know more. And Final Fantasy is like that too. But again, Final Fantasy to me is not complete without at least, if you can't do open world, at least big sections where you can grind and there's more grinding, in it. But then also things like alternate costumes and stuff like that. I would love it if they had their Advent Children skins in this, or alternate time skins in this, or fuck it, throw in Cloud's Kingdom Hearts skin in this. Stuff like that. That would be fucking awesome. Run around as Cowboy Tifa. I wouldn't mind that at all. Like, I like stuff like that. It's a little more incentive to play as that. It's super cool to me. And the way Yuffie played in the Yuffie DLC was really awesome. And I know she's going to be confirmed. How are they going to do the characters? Because are we going to get Sid and Vincent in this one? Are we going to get Kate Sith in this? Or are we just going to get full on, let's just start now playing as Red 13 and Yuffie, and there's no other new characters? Do you think they're going to skip new characters for this iteration and save those last 3 characters to keep it fresh for the third one? Or are they going to announce, or are they going to have everybody in the second one? Like, how are they, or play as Zack? Like, how are they going to do that?
They're probably going to have characters across Zack's timeline. If we're going with the Zack's timeline versus the original timeline thing, they're probably going to have characters sectioned off and segregated into each timeline.
Sure. Maybe
they have Vincent, being like, Dirge of Cerberus never existed in Zack's timeline, and it will be awesome. There's just so many things that Nomura can come up with, and then obviously when it happens, we're gonna go, Nomura, you did it again. Oh, let's get you up on the board, Jinjin Ninja. Hold up.
Yeah, man. I tell you what. So handle your shout-outs. Handle your biz. How about this? Is there anything else you want to say before we get started? Because I wanted to take a quick break, grab a quick snack, and come on back down and get some rounds in.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. I might take a brief intermission myself for station identification, get myself a coffee, and then once we return, I think we were ready to take this conversation to the streets. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. I guess the last couple things, maybe like another quick, brief, like 2-3 minute more thing is, so of course I'm going to be super excited about the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm glad that they're sticking with the R word titles, and maybe we'll get an R rating, right? Final Fantasy VII R rated R. That would be awesome. Maybe we'll actually see blood.
I've seen enough source filmmaker videos. It can happen.
But you know what though? I mean, I know we got. I don't mind talking about all types of video games, but I'll tell you what. My final thoughts on what we're talking about here with Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighter thing. Because I mean, I still have Mortal Kombat Defenders of Earth playing up here, which is still amazing looking as I'm watching it, going, I want to play that fucking right now. But Mortal Kombat 1 though, I am super hyped for it. I ordered the deluxe edition. I didn't order the collector's edition because I don't really care about the Fire God Liu Kang statue for like $200 some.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it looks cool, but no. But I'm just really hoping that it's going to be a really fun game to play, and it brings more people towards the series than against it. I really hope. I always hope with any new Mortal Kombat, even though they had a good track record for the past 3 years, they came close with Mortal Kombat 11 because the fan base is very toxic. No offense, they are. We all are. But you should see us in the Twitch chats. but we almost had an Armageddon moment or an MK4 moment with Mortal Kombat 11. It didn't get that bad because it wasn't really bad at all. It's just I'm always wary that Mortal Kombat's going to have that one game that comes out that's dog shit, and then it's back on the back burner and no one cares about Mortal Kombat again. And I really hope this one isn't, because I really hope that it brings more boys to the yard with their milkshakes. Really, I hope that happens more. I want more people to play Mortal Kombat and fighting games in general, because they are a very good way to play and spend your time, and it's good to trash talk and talk to your friends and all that shit, and it's going to be a lot of fun when it comes out in September.
You're here, amen. And if there's any constant beyond if there was any constant throughout my life, it was fighting games. I remember playing
Hell
the
yeah.
original Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo
Oh, me too.
on Sega Genesis, and all the Mortal Kombats throughout the arcade, throughout the 16-bit era. I skipped 4, and then you brought me back into Deception and Deadly Alliance and Armageddon, and then the Renaissance again with 9 and 10 and 11. Everything so far is looking good for Mortal Kombat, and it's already been proven that Street Fighter is delivering. So it's going back to what we were saying before. It's a good time to be a fighting game fan and a video game fan in general.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, we've said a lot, so we'll get back into this. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. With some sweaty sets with our boy BM2KX.
Same.
Alrighty. Wow, what a great content, right? If you like that content, YouTube thinks you also might like this content. I think you might also like this playlist where I'm playing Elden Ring on the 1-year anniversary. It was a really, really good time, and it was also a really, really, really painful time as well. And hey, if you're still around after that, maybe you can consider subscribing to the channel.